that goes hand in hand with what went wrong basically, as far as the grid and
Mhm.
not being prepared.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, we gotta do something about it because, like you said, it's happening more and more frequently. Um, yeah, the whole that what you just said about global warming tied in with the negligence is just a bad combination.
yeah.
You know, man, we're about to go down a rabbit hole, I think, with hey, you and your rabbit holes. But no, the conversation about the power grid is just it's just like, damn, man, come on. What here we are again dealing with some bullshit because of politicians.
Yeah,
And who's
that
paying for it?
the people and yeah, they like I've been saying, they don't care about us. Like, why would you go? Why would anybody go into politics? You would think to
Power and money. It's the
yeah,
only reason,
and
right?
that
I mean, well, okay. I'm sure there's some people out there that really want to make changes. And I do feel like there's more people like that sort of seeping into the system. Um, but we are dealing with the repercussions of people that I think got in just for money and power or got corrupted by money and power.
exactly, exactly, because how can how could any of this improve for the next time if you don't even acknowledge that there is a problem with global warming, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't accept what science says and, do your own research and come to a reasonable, logical conclusion that, okay, hey, maybe maybe this has a lot to do with it based on all these extreme, you know, the extreme weather on both ends. It gets
Yeah.
it gets extremely hot and it gets extremely cold and the storms are worse, so but if
Yeah.
you don't acknowledge that, nothing's gonna change. So, because you think about the problem with the power grid and, they have to weatherize it, you know?
Got
They
to at this
the
point.
they have to weatherize the pipes, the gas pipes underneath, the transformers or whatever, but if you're not even there yet to accept global warming, how
Yeah.
are you gonna make that happen? Like, how are you
Yeah.
gonna wanna spend that money, you know?
Yeah, man. And the the irony behind that, which is this happened because they were trying to save money, they're trying to get around
Right.
regulations. First of all, maybe there's a point to regulations. You know what I mean? Um, but
Right, right,
the
right.
you know,
Very
they
important.
act like they're trying to hold us prisoner or some shit with regulations. But then we sit there and we talk shit about China not having any regulations and um their fucking hoverboards catching on fire on planes type of shit because they don't have
Right.
regulations for certain things, a lot of things. But then we do the same thing. Um, a lot of the money that is saved is it's like, man, the universe just has a way of balancing itself out because how many how much money is going to be lost on like insurance claims and things like that when this is all over with?
Right.
How much money is spent sending people out, putting lives in danger, to fix some of these things like transformers, like you're saying, or busted pipes and all of that. And,
Oh, yeah, it's
businesses that gotta close again because of all this shit. And that probably would have happened anyway because of the roads, but it could have been better, if we had some sort of thing in place like the North does with like sand and salt for the roads. Like we don't have any of that shit.
no, no, and I mean, and the whole sand thing is a joke. If you talk to people from, Canada, they're like, "No, you gotta have chemicals and shit to to break
Right.
up the
Yeah.
ice," you know what I mean?
Right. This
Sand,
ice is no joke.
right, sand is nice, and,
Probably better
if
than nothing, but
if
yeah.
it's a baby storm, but, but yeah, I mean, people pay, you spend taxes and, you spend taxes, you pay taxes, and you do all the things you're supposed to do as a citizen in
Mhm.
this state. And you got people who what all this has showed me, the whole, 2020 and 20 so far 2021 is the people who we have elected to be in charge don't know what they're doing. They
No.
they, they don't have a clue. And You know, they play this back and forth game, you know, to a T, to the point where it's like that's all that matters is the back
Mhm.
and forth game.
It's
Like,
like who's gonna win the argument? You know,
right.
it's just like children arguing at some point.
Right. I mean, the reason why we don't really regulate anything here, what it boils down to is because, you know, that's what Democrats want, you know, or that's what Democrats feel you should be doing is regulating to make sure you have all your shit dialed in. But,
Mhm.
you know, oh no, Texas, oh no,
Freedom,
freedom, business, commerce, you
right?
know, don't put any chains on anything. Just let it go.
Till shit hits the fan.
Right. And you want to trust people in charge to do the right thing, but they're not gonna spend money to do the right thing if they don't have to until the shit hits the fan, and then
Right.
everything is just always gonna be reactionary, you know?
Yep.
We come to the fork of the road again, like, okay, well, everybody wants to know what happened and what could have prevented it, you know? And it's like, um, we need you know, it's just it's obvious. You
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah. We could have implemented some of this stuff in after the shit happened in 2011. I think it was
exactly.
2011.
Yeah,
That's
the
10
Super Bowl.
years. Yep. That's 10 years to do something,
And
right?
they said this, they were saying the same exact thing because ruined the Super Bowl, basically, you know? Jerry
That
Jones had a field day.
that's what's gonna light a fire under people's ass.
Right, but you would think,
Yeah.
but they still didn't do anything, even though it ruined, you know, Texas's pastime, you know, the football, Super Bowl,
Right.
and they still didn't do anything, and, you know, here we are again, you know, reactionary.
Mhm.
Bad shit happens, and
So
it's
yeah, it's like, what's gonna happen this time?
it's it really is sad, but it does let you know that the people in charge don't know what they're doing, and they don't really give a shit, you know?
Yeah.
Power and money,
Yep.
and,
Corrupts all,
yep.
as they say.
Yeah, let me get this poor little
So,
girl off to the did you want me to read any of that?
yeah, sure.
Please say no.
Everybody should have been reading along while you were talking
Right.
on YouTube.
We have an article on, from Texas, just, you know, from TexasMonthly.com, and the headline is, "What went wrong with Texas's main electric grid? It could it have been prevented?" And that's an easy one. A whole lot of shit went wrong.
Mhm. Yep.
And it could have been prevented based on everything we just said if they weatherized the um the
Basically,
grid, the
yeah, the whole
grid,
system.
basically the whole system, the gas pipes, the uh the transformers, just everything. The water system got frozen. That's why people were boiling water.
Yeah,
When this article come out? It came out on the 17th. So as of Wednesday morning, 2.7 million homes still lacked power. And I think one of those days we were -2 in the morning. So
good lord. Yeah,
just imagine being in your house.
yeah, it's like, I'm hearing people putting saying temperatures between, like, 30 and 60 in their house.
Yeah, no, that's bad. That's I'm gonna get that off.
But yeah, the whole winterizing thing, uh, they try to point the finger at green energy, and that's a whole another thing where it's just like, wow, you're pointing the finger, you're putting the blame on the wrong thing, you
And
know?
making
Um,
it political. Yep.
right. And or, if you say like the green energy stuff, the solar and the windmills failed, it failed because of the policies that were in place or the lack of regulations. Like they didn't put de-icing equipment on the windmills to save money, I guess, or they didn't want
Right.
to pay for that or whatever the fuck, and now that's coming to bite you in the ass. The insulation that should have been on piping, there's just so many things, man.
Right.
And
The
I
under
don't.
Yep. No, I was gonna say the gas lines underneath all need to be weatherized
Yep.
just for this incident. Um, people
Solar
don't
panels, I'm gonna throw that in there real quick. Solar panels where the snow was on top, like I'm pretty sure there's something to de-ice those things. I don't know. I know for sure the windmills, like they totally neglected or just straight up were like, no, we're not going to put de-icing stuff on these.
Right.
There's got to be something similar for solar panels, I'm sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you don't believe in green energy, why would you give a shit? You know,
Right.
they probably just throw them up just for shits and giggles. Ah, let's
Right.
see if this works.
There you go. That'll shut them up. You know.
Right. But you know what I was reading yesterday is that the solar actually came through for us and
Right.
some of the wind, but it's not even a huge percentage of what we use in this state
Right.
because we're a gas and oil state,
Fuck
baby.
yeah.
This is how
Freedom.
we do it. And so to even use that as an excuse is like we were just saying in the beginning, it's a back and forth political game.